Afrexim Bank and other settlement banks in Nigeria will facilitate the trade between Dangote and NNPC Limited. This intervention is expected to eliminate the need for international letters of credit. It will also save the country billions of dollars used in importing refined fuel. And President Tinubu also signed the newly approved national minimum wage into law. He assented to the bill earlier today during the Federal Executive Council meeting attended by members of the cabinet and the leadership of the National Assembly. The president's assent ends months of deliberations between government authorities, labor unions, and the private sector. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, led the National Assembly delegation to the signing ceremony. And the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has backed the calls for a nationwide protest, but stressed that it must be done peacefully. Mr. Obi, who spoke with when he paid a courtesy visit to Governor Alex Otti of Abia State, says it's important that the protest holds within the confines of the law.
Within the Nigerian Constitution, protesting allowed. All I plead for those who are protesting is to do so within the law and in a civil manner that allows us as a nation to show that we live within the law. Everybody knows the things that are difficult. I always say, when they talk about sponsors of the protest, I say the sponsors are very simple. It's hunger. It's hopelessness among the youths. So we all have to listen to what Nigerians are going through.
The problem we find ourselves in the country today is economic. And will I say that we are actually paying the price for bad governance that didn't start today? People should think about the implications of pouring out on the streets, restricting movement of other people, and possibly inflicting harm and more hardship on the people. For people in Abia, my advice is that people should not pour out on the streets because it may be more hurtful than the protest that we actually, the reason for the protest that people are calling for.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners has cautioned its members against participating in actions that could undermine the federal government. NATO President Yusuf Othman emphasized that the association will not support any protest but to engage in dialogue with government. He urged NATO members to remain focused on their professional responsibilities and avoid being influenced by individuals with hidden agenda. President Bola Tinubu has been appealing to organizers to call off the protest, assuring that his administration is committed to alleviating the economic difficulties facing Nigerians. And now to party politics. The All Progressives Congress in Enugu State has suspended its state chairman, Ugochukwu Agbala, and other executive members over alleged anti-party and acts of abuse of offices. The aggrieved members of the State Executive Committee passed a vote of no confidence following the allegations of anti-party activities and abuse of office. Reacting to the incident, Southeast Chairman of the party, Ijeoma Arodiogu, claimed the group are no longer members of the party, having been suspended months ago for alleged anti-party activities.
Our decision is predicated on series of acts of abuse of offices, usurpation of power, creation of factional executives, unconstitutional removal of party executives, execution of projects for the party without following due process, instigation of crisis in the party, in some local government, etc., committed by the named officers against the party. Since the confirmation of Honorable Ugochukwu Agbala as the state chairman of the party, he has been running the affairs of the party as if it is his personal business, without any regard to the party's constitution. He doesn't want the party to grow. So what else can we do? than to save the soul of the party. We are the people at the grassroots. It's not him.
He sacked members of our party at his will without following party constitution, which is killing our party members, creating parallel structure of the party. In various local government, if he discovers that he is not happy with you, he will set someone aside to form a structure and remove you. It has been his culture. He has chased a lot of people who could have helped this party to grow.
We will not allow the party to die, because if the party dies, automatically we're in problem. Disappointed our grassroots members. So that is why we stood on this, so that Ugochukwu Agbala, our state chairman, has to go for us to salvage our party.
Let's dive into the issues facing the APC in Enugu State. I'm joined by two stakeholders who know the situation on ground. Afonso Zonwafo is the party's acting chairman in Enugu State, and Vincent Chinyene is legal advisor and chairman of the APC Disciplinary Committee. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us on the program. I understand that the acting chairman will be joining us subsequently. Let's begin with the legal advisor. Talk to us about what happened during this meeting that led to the suspension of the previous EXCOs and then leading to the appointment of individuals in acting capacity.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Yes, go ahead, please. Talk to us about what happened. Mr. Agbala and other executive members, we understand, were suspended over alleged abuse of offices. There were also accusations in the past about allegations of high-handedness and what have you. What do you think is playing out at the APC in Enugu State?
What is playing out is quite obvious. Is the handwork of mischief makers and those who felt threatened by the opposition of APC, and specifically the chairman of the party in the state, Ugochukwu Agbala, especially the PDP. It's obvious that those people that came out to the television or publicizing the suspension are those who are compromised, those who are brought over to cause confusion and distraction to the party in Enugu State. It's obvious that what they did is quite illegal. It's quite unconstitutional. It has no place in APC constitution at all. If they claim to be members of state executive committee, before you convene a meeting of the state executive committee, there are laid down procedures in the constitution of APC. There must be notice to every member that is entitled to attend that meeting. The question is, did they give any notice to anybody? Answer is no. And in the composition of state executive working committee, you have the state chairman, you have the national officers, you have the zonal officers, you have the working committee members and the assistants and others. The question is, the national deputy chairman of the APC, which is Enugu, is from Enugu State. We have the meeting. The answer is no. Another question, we have a representative as Southeast zonal organ of the party. Was she aware of the meeting? The answer is no. My very self here, who is the legal advisor of the party, was I aware of the meeting? The answer is no. Then where is the capacity of God to convene the meeting?
Well, you're not talking about the fact that about 15 of the local government APC chairpersons were present at this meeting.
Even if they are, the question, do they have the competence? Under the APC constitution, the zonal executive committee, which is Southeast Zone, has the jurisdiction to entertain complaints and allegations against any state executive. Was there any petition written to them? Was there any petition investigated by the relevant organ? They have no competence of such, they have no such power, even to convene and conduct any meeting.
Talking about petitions, Mr. Vincent, talking about petitions, the suspended chairperson has been accused of being autocratic and that he ran the party as his personal business. There have been calls as far back as April by the former chairman Dr. Ben Nwoye, who called on party leadership to wade into the crisis rocking the party in the state. If you also check some details here, there have been condemnation about how he allegedly suspended prominent party stakeholders like the former Senate President Ken Inamani, former Governor Sullivan Chime, there is former Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Udin Ojo. Ginika Tor was on this program in March, also venting about how poorly she's being treated by the leadership of the party. Are you saying you're not aware of all of these concerns that have been largely publicized earlier on in the year?
Those people you mentioned that we are suspended from the party, they were suspended for anti-party activities that we are duly investigated. There were petitions to that effect. There were video clips of their conduct to that effect. A conditionary committee was set up to that effect. They were notified of the petitions against them. Only that they failed to appear before the disciplinary committee. There was a fact-finding committee set up, which investigated and made a frame of fact case against them. So they weren't suspended in vacuum. They were investigated and found culpable suspension. But in this case, was there any petition made? Was the petition served on those alleged to have committed those offenses? Was there any disciplinary committee set up? The answer to them are in the negative. So you can't just jump up and say that you are suspending somebody. You have to follow the constitutional provision of APC as laid down in Article 21 to that effect. And the jurisdiction of the organ are clearly spelled out. If you have any complaints against a state chairman or members of the state executive, the right organ to investigate and to mark out the necessary punishment is the zonal, Southeast zonal organ of the party. So the people that paraded themselves in the television are mere mischief makers.
Well,
there are people of integrity. Some of them were suspended from the party.
The issue of
actions in the party.
Mr. Vincent, the issue of anti-party activity is your word against theirs. Ginika Tor came up with videos of us supporting the president during the election. He challenged the party executives at the time to release their own videos of how they openly supported the president or otherwise in the last election. But, you know, the concern is that APC performed very poorly in 2023 in Enugu. How does suspending the stakeholders within the party's strategy to move forward in order to be able to do better in the following election? But we're going to talk more about that in a minute, right after this break. Stay with us, everyone. Well, attention is turned to Enugu State, where APC there appears to be in some crisis with the emergence of certain party executives now in acting capacity. Legal advisor of the APC in Enugu State and chairman of the APC Disciplinary Committee, Vincent Cheyene, is my guest on the program. Afonso Zawamfo is also expected to join us, hopefully before the end of this program. Mr. Vincent, thank you for staying the course on the program. There are a lot of conversations as to the weighty allegations that have been brought against stakeholders within your party prior to the suspension of the former chairman against the federal commissioner representing Enugu State, and quite a number of them. A lot of people have said it's embarrassing for a party that have performed so poorly. But I also understand that the acting chairman himself, Afonso Zawamfo, has now joined us. Mr. Nwafo, thank you for joining us. Mr. Agbala and other executive members, we understand, were suspended over alleged abuse of offices. But the allegation that has been made in the course of this program is that the committee did not follow due process in suspending them according to your party's constitution. How do you react to this? Because you emerged through that process as acting chairman.
Such an allegation is laughable. When you have the state working committee, we have 17 local governments in Enugu and 14 local governments chairman signed against the sitting chairman, and the secretaries of local governments as well signed with other state working committee members. They have a lot of maybe 2/3 majority of the state working committee and the SEC members. So one should not believe such laughable adoption of not following the constitution. We are not that.
Tell us more about what happened at that meeting as regards why these executive members were suspended and why a new leadership emerged.
Actually, the party under Honorable Ugochukwu Agbala, I would wish to say this, that Ugochukwu Agbala as a person is a good man. He has a good intention for the party, but I think with bad applications. So a lot of people has been expelled from this party without following the constitutional laid down rules and regulations. Every day you hear, suspend this man, suspend the other person. And you are aware that Enugu here, as APC Enugu, has former governor Enugu State, Governor Sullivan expelled. Former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Onyama, expelled. Former Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ken Namani, expelled. And a lot of other party stalwarts. For what reason? That's not enough. The local government chairmen are not well treated. People who have been constituted, the constituted authorities in the party, in the state party, have not been allowed to exercise their duly recognized constitutional authority. So, and the constitution is not being followed the way it should be. So a lot are angry. A lot of people are angry about this. That is why they need to make a change of the leadership.
Mr. Vincent, you heard the acting chairman that your position that that the due process wasn't followed is laughable.
Yes, I'm really laughing because Alphonsus Waf, I don't know who made him the acting chairman. This is my first time of seeing and hearing that he's the acting chairman of APC. Who made him the acting chairman? In what occasion was he made the acting chairman? In what forum? I know APC Enugu State is going to conduct their stakeholders meeting tomorrow. Let him come there and put himself as the acting chairman. Can you, after that, can you be the acting chairman in your room, in a hotel room? It's evident that these people are really mischief makers, and they were compromised. So they were bought over to do this thing against the state of APC in Enugu State. Obviously, all the allegations they are leveling against the chairman are unfounded. They are false. The problem with the chairman is that the PDP government in Enugu State is not comfortable with him. Last time, he made a press conference condemning the demolition going on in Enugu State. He condemned the rate of taxation being imposed on poor, wretched people in Enugu State. And PDP are using these people to foment trouble in Enugu State. It's unfortunate that they should allow themselves to be used against APC. So, Ugochukwu Agbala has proved himself in every facet of leadership in Enugu State. He has shown that leadership by example. Since he came to power in Enugu State, there is a change from the grassroots. If you are in Enugu State and if you are online, you will see even those people he's claiming that are his supporters, associating themselves from what they did. Well, from the local government, from the
just a minute, Mr. Vincent, because Mr. Wafo is hearing you, and Mr. Vincent seems to be questioning the credibility of your office as acting chairman. I was thinking you will respond to him.
Of course, I would respond to him. In due time, the credibility will be before him, and he will understand what credibility means. Because at this point, I would wish to say that he failed to understand that verb, that adjective, credibility. So in due course, he will see the meaning of that word, credibility.
But are you concerned about the division within your party? And is that priority for you as acting chairman?
Yes, I'm concerned about the division in the party because as a party, we should do a lot of things as people who have come together, who have belonged to a political party. And the aim, the objectives of a political party is to win elections. And since the inception of APC in Enugu, we've not won even common councillor seat. And we got the least vote in the presidential election. the last presidential election. So now, what is the name that should be given to APC in Enugu? We answer APC on paper, but in practicality, we are not. It is better we put the record straight.
Before your appointment, which is now being contested, you were Zona Vice Chairperson, Enugu West Senatorial District. On this show in March, Ginikator did say that APC in Enugu is moribund, good as dead. How can you revive your party with this division, and what do you think you can do differently this time?
Okay, there is an Igbo today. There is a very common parlance in Igbo that says, that means that a tree cannot make a forest. That is why we have called for a unification of the members, of the real members of APC. We need people inside this party, not expelling people. People should come together. Yes, we have our different political affiliation, religious understanding, and the social, whatever you can think about. But we must have a common cause of unification, not expulsion. They are expelling people from the party and now handling the party as a private property and as a private organization. We have a lot of evidence showing to this fact.
So we have to leave now, but quickly, Mr. Vincent, you've been talking about due process, and some would say that the suspended chairman did not even emerge through a Congress. And there are a lot of conversation as to, has your party been following due process from day one? How do you think that can be improved on moving forward?
That is the fallacy. Somebody who is presiding over the chairmanship of the APC in Enugu State, somebody alleging that he didn't pass through the Congress. How then did he emerge? A Congress was conducted in Enugu State to the knowledge of everybody, to the knowledge of INEC and knowledge of even the party officials. For somebody to allege that he wasn't, he didn't get his chairmanship through Congress is a fallacy.
But what do you consider? What do you consider the way forward?
The question is why? It was because of more like them in the party that we are sabotaging the party, and that's what Ugochukwu came and tried to uproot them one by one, so that the party will have a clear cut.
Mr. Vincent, beyond the brickbat and calling up names, what do you consider the way forward for your party in Enugu State moving forward?
The way forward is that they should have a change of heart. They should stop sabotaging the party in Enugu State. We have good leadership, but some of them are Moors. And unless and until those Moors are able to find their own party, if they don't like APC, let them go out. We have so many political parties in Nigeria.
But it seems they have, it does seem that they have the backing of the national headquarters of your party. Well, that's our time, Mr. Vincent. We have to continue this conversation subsequently. Acting Chairman, let me get your closing remarks in this regard.
Okay, I thank you so much for this meeting, so to speak, or this interview. To put the record straight, we are not here fighting for anything but fighting for justice, fighting for equity, fighting for the obedience to the Constitution of APC, Enugu State, and APC, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Therefore, I at this point want to encourage all at sundry. Join the moving train. Let us move ahead. Let's do things together. There is no need for division, because a house divided with each other cannot stand. This is the time for us to continue and make APC a better party in Enugu State.
Afoso Sowafo is the party's acting chairman in Enugu State. Vincent Chiyene says it did not emerge through legal process. Is the legal advisor and chairman of the APC disciplinary committee. We're following that story in Enugu State. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us and talking to us this evening. That's our show, everyone. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.
Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear